In the Cowboys universe, there's a ton of optimism around the 2025 draft class, and there is, people say that we're biased. We couldn't possibly be biased when talking about the Cowboys, but don't take it from me that the Cowboys had a good draft and some of their rookies are going to be real impact players, because NFL.com just put together a list of their 2025 NFL All-Rookie team, kind of projecting the best rookie at each position in 2025. So that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. 2 Cowboys are on this list, 2 of their top 100 picks. And if these guys are the best at their positions this coming year, Dallas is in for a really fun season. Let's get into it. So Gennaro Felice of NFL.com released his 2025 NFL All-Rookie team. Guys like first overall pick Cam Ward at quarterback, Ashton Jeanty at running back, Jags wide receiver Travis Hunter, and then we get to the first player for the Cowboys, Tyler Booker at guard. Here's what Felice had to say about why he put Booker on this team. A lot of people think Dallas overdrafted Booker at number 12 overall. I disagree with that sentiment, and I could take this opportunity to remind everyone of this Cowboys regime's sparkling track record when it comes to selecting offensive linemen in round 1. Or I could just point you to the hardest quote of the draft cycle.
People wake up, be like, man, I can't wait to play this football game today. They listen to their hype music. They take all the pre-workout. They get so excited to play football until they come across Tyler Booker. And then when I'm going after you, quarter after quarter, play after play, series after series, and I start to see that love leave their eyes, like that's what makes me love the game.
I couldn't agree more. That is probably the hardest quote of the entire draft cycle. I know it got me hyped. Micah Parsons was hyped. But I think that Felice is kind of right when it comes to breaking down why Booker makes this list. You look at the physical profile, you look at the body type, the power, how he can move people on the interior, how good of a pass protector he is. I'm still not sure that I would say he was a top 15 pick in this draft, but I understand why the Cowboys did it. Yes, Dallas has a great, bright track record when it comes to drafting offensive linemen. Sure, the jury's still out on their last offensive lineman pick in 2024, Tyler Guyton, but for the most part, the scouting department has consistently hit on first-round linemen. Regardless of what I think, if I think they overdrafted the player, they got a steal, doesn't matter. They've consistently drafted and developed that talent over the years. And it seems to me like that's the most underrated part in all of this. I think it's much more than just finding a great player and drafting them. If that were the case, drafting would be an exact science, but it's not. You have to develop these guys. And for me, at least, it feels like the Cowboys' offensive line has not really developed in the way that I had hoped over the past couple of years. And I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I've talked about it quite a bit on my channel, but I think a lot of that had to do with the coaching staff. Now, with Mike McCarthy gone and Mike Solari gone, I think bringing in Clayton Adams, Connor Riley brings a lot of hope with what they plan to do with Tyler Booker and how he can progress as a player. With Mike Solari, his offensive line struggled for 2 years. You look at Terrence Steele, that was consistently getting better throughout his career. Solari comes in here and he just falls off a cliff. You look at Tyler Guyton, who worked with Duke Manyweather all offseason, comes into training camp, looks good against Micah Parsons, looks pretty good in the preseason. We get to the regular season after spending 2 months in the Cowboys building. It all went to crap. The whispers that I heard, he wasn't a good coach. They were struggling to develop their offensive talent, the stuff that he was teaching, the technique, it just wasn't great. It wasn't working for a number of different guys. It kind of makes sense, right? The more and more I thought about the progression of some of these guys, these players and draft picks, I realized how non-existent their progression was over the past 2 seasons. So it feels good to kind of get that reset with the coaching staff. And I thought that Shoddy, bringing in the guys that he did, gives this offensive line, and especially these young players, a lot more to work with and a lot more hope that they'll be good or great NFL players. Clayton Adams is like the offensive lineman whisperer. He made Will Hernandez have a really good season after he almost fell out of the league. Connor Riley from Kansas State has consistently had a good ground game over there. He coached Cooper Beebe. So you bring in 2 guys, and then you add Brian Schottenheimer to work with a guy like Booker that has a ton of raw power, somebody that's built like a cinder block, not easy to move in the run game or passing game. Booker checks all of the boxes when you look at a guy who's ready to be an NFL level player. I'm excited about the potential that he brings to the ground game, that he brings to the passing game. I actually think Booker's a better pass protector than he is a run blocker right now, but I know he's going to be replacing a Hall of Famer in Zach Martin, and that's a tall task. But I do want to say, and I'll kind of lay it out there, try not to, hate too much in the comments, but I think there's a chance that we're going to see a noticeable difference with a younger, healthier, strong guy compared to what we saw from Martin in 2024. Zach Martin was not good last year. He was playing injured. Obviously, he was getting older. It was kind of his last rodeo, if you will. So getting a guy in there that can really move people, you put him in between Terrence Steele and Cooper Beebe, I think it changes how this offense is going to be able to move the ball, especially in the run game. I love that Booker made this list. Hopefully he is the dominant player that the Cowboys drafted him at 12 to be. So the Cowboys' first round pick made the projected all-rookie team. No surprise, he was the first guard taken by quite a bit, but so did the Cowboys' second round pick, Donovan Ezeiruaku from Boston College. Cowboys selected him 44th overall. And Gennaro Felice said this about Ezeiruaku making this list. Ezeiruaku walks into an advantageous environment, sharing the field with perennial Defensive Player of the Year candidate Micah Parsons. The rookie is set to receive favorable matchups, and he has the pass rushing arsenal to take advantage of them. With pterodactyl length and hair-on-fire spirit, Ezeiruaku explodes off the snap with a quick first step, often allowing him to get to the edge and bend to the quarterback. If the pure pass rush speed doesn't work, no worries. The dude knows how to use his hands, and he has a full bag of tricks that range from a spin to a Euro step to a pretty wicked ghost move. The Boston College product is poised to rack up the kind of sexy stats that garner recognition, having finished last season at second in the FBS in sacks with 16.5 and third in tackles for loss with 20.5. And I love Felice's breakdown of Donovan right here because you just look at the size, the bend, the production, the pass rush bag. It's all there. Blogging the Boys pointed this out in their article, and it's an interesting nugget because unlike Tyler Booker, who was a first-round pick, it's no surprise that he was on here. But Ezeiruaku was the 6th edge drafted, which means that NFL.com had him having a better or bigger impact this season than guys like Mykel Williams, Jalen Walker, Shamar Stewart, and James Pierce Jr., all pass rushers that I really liked. Maybe not as much Mykel Williams. So even with him being the 6th edge off the board, he's still projected to be one of 2 of the best rookie edges this year in the NFL. So obviously, Ezeiruaku, great player, but I also love that he's not going to have to play right away. The Cowboys have invested so much in the edge position over the past 2 or 3 seasons that a young guy like Donovan can be a part of a rotation to really start out, a rotation of him and Williams, Fowler, Nealand. He's not going to be just thrown into the fire as a second-round pick and asked to hold up against left tackles in the run game and go get the passer on third down. He's going to have a chance to kind of work in there, earn himself more reps as the year goes along, and then we might get to see him playing more reps down the line. Where I would love to see him at least early in the year is getting after the passer in obvious passing situations, because you have Micah who's going to be consistently on the field. Then you have bigger bodies that can hold up in the run game like Marshawn Nealand. And if the defense can get teams into 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, that's when you have Micah on one side and Ezeiruaku on the other, and then you're cooking. Because every offensive game plan for the opposing team is going to be Micah Parsons, and then Micah Parsons. Don't let number 11 ruin the game plan. So if Donovan is out there on the field, he's going to get a chance to put up numbers. If you just look at TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith in Pittsburgh, Watt takes a lot of the attention to his side of the field. Highsmith gets to work one-on-one with the left tackle on the other side, and he's been putting up gaudy numbers, making crazy money because he gets to play with a really good player opposite of him in TJ Watt. Obviously has the skill, so does Ezeiruaku. I just thought that would be a good comparison. So I cannot wait to see these guys on the field in Oxnard. I'm so ready for some kind of real on-the-field football. As you guys can tell, we're really scraping the bottom of the barrel here for content. I need something of substance to talk about. I'm really struggling here. But when training camp does kick off, if you guys want a ton of extra content, go check me out on Patreon. Multiple new videos a week. You guys get to decide what my videos will be throughout the regular season, the postseason. You'll get a behind-the-scenes look at stuff that I'm working on for the channel and brand as a whole. And then I'll be announcing a huge project over on Patreon that all patrons will have access to throughout the regular season. I'm so excited to show it to all of you. So if you want, go check that out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.